Let me tell you about Peter, one of the most real and relatable people in the Bible. A man just like us, full of faith, flaws, and hope. You see, Peter wasn't some perfect saint walking around with a halo on his head. He was a fisherman, an ordinary man, just trying to get by. He smelled like fish, his hands were calloused from hard work, and he had no idea that one encounter with Jesus would change the course of his life forever. One day, Peter was out on his boat, doing what he did best, casting nets and hoping for a good catch. That's when Jesus showed up, not with a booming voice or a flashy miracle, but with an invitation. "Follow me," Jesus said, "and I will make you fishers of men." Can you imagine? Peter, this rough-around-the-edges fisherman, didn't ask 1,000 questions. He didn't say, "What's in it for me?" He dropped his nets and followed. That's real faith. That's trust. Peter became one of Jesus' closest friends, but he was also the guy who always seemed to act before he thought. He was the first to say, "Jesus, I'll never leave you." And yet when things got hard, Peter messed up. Big time. There was this moment, a stormy night on the water, when Jesus walked out on the waves. Peter, bold as ever, said, "Lord, if it's really you, let me come to you." And he did it. He stepped out of that boat and walked on water. But then he saw the wind, the waves, and the storm, and fear crept in. He started to sink. Right there, Jesus reached out his hand and saved him. That's Peter, faithful but fearful, bold but human. But the real story of Peter isn't just about his bravery or even his failures. It's about how Jesus saw something in him that Peter couldn't see in himself. On the night Jesus was arrested, Peter promised, "Even if everyone else abandons you, I never will." And yet, in the courtyard, as Jesus faced trial, Peter denied knowing him, not once, not twice, but 3 times. When the rooster crowed, Peter realized what he'd done. He broke down and wept bitterly. Have you ever felt like you let God down? Like you failed in a way you can't come back from? That was Peter in that moment. But here's the twist. After Jesus rose from the dead, he didn't write Peter off. He didn't say, "Well, you blew it." No, Jesus went looking for Peter. He met him on a beach and asked him one question 3 times. "Do you love me?" Each time, Peter answered, "Yes, Lord, you know I do." And with every answer, Jesus gave Peter a mission. "Feed my sheep." It was like Jesus was saying, "Peter, I know you failed, but I still choose you. I'm not done with you yet." And Peter? He didn't let that second chance go to waste. He became a leader, a preacher, a man whose life was so changed by Jesus that he helped,